Welcome to this AgriWiz tutorial. I'm Jaco. In this video, I will introduce the new fertilizer mix system in AgriWiz. An important change in the AgriWiz update is the idea of a fertilizer mix. The fertilizer mix now supports the following features. These first 4 features apply to all methods of fertilizer application. Centralized management means that each farm's fertilizer management can all happen in one place. Moving simply from left to right on the tabs will take you through all you need to, from creating or editing mixes to finally scheduling your irrigation or fertigation. Once a mix is created, it can be attached to any number of seasons on the farm. Change something for one field and it will automatically change and recalculate for all other fields linked to that particular fertilizer mix. It enables the use of any combination of fertilizer application methods in a single mix. You can choose between fertigation, hydroponics, broad-based application, foliar, or per plant application, or a mix of any of these. It enables you to select corrective fertilizers and application methods for each element if the mix you created results in elemental deficiencies for some fields. You also have the option to designate a master element for a particular multi-element fertilizer. Injection rates will be adjusted so that this element is given at the correct quantity regardless of the other elemental requirements. This is particularly useful when doing precision fertigation and a tank must contain more than one element. The microelement tank is a good example of this, as it normally contains 3 to 5 elements, often in multi-fertilizers. You can decide which is the most important, and the injection rates will be adjusted to accommodate this. This permits you to use precision fertigation without having to have 11 single element tanks. Just be aware that there is significant potential to oversupply some elements. The master element may also be used for other application methods. In another example, calcium nitrate is selected as a source of calcium. Normally, AgriWiz would provide the appropriate amount of calcium nitrate so that neither calcium nor nitrogen is given above the recommendation. Once that point is reached, it will use single element fertilizers to achieve the balance. Here, calcium chloride will be used to achieve the balance. However, should master element be selected, AgriWiz will use calcium nitrate to satisfy the total calcium requirement regardless of the amount of nitrogen applied. In addition, for farmers who use fertigation or hydroponics, you now have 4 different methods to calculate the best compromise when you are using injection valves per fertigation tank, but fertigating to several fields. No one field has exactly the same fertilizer requirement, but because single injection points serve multiple fields, some fields may get more and others less than their requirement. The calculation method helps you choose the compromise suited for your situation. This is an important innovation and it has implications for cost saving, amongst other things. For example, if you have young trees with a high nitrogen requirement and old trees that must have low nitrogen so as not to affect the fruit quality, you may select the minimum calculation method for nitrogen. The balance of the nitrogen required would then be applied using alternatively applied fertilizers. The calculation methods are as follows. The default setting is best fit. This takes into account the proportional use of the element. For example, the nitrogen requirement for a large field is given more weight than a small field. Minimum. All fields receive the amount of fertilizer required by the field with the lowest requirement. Average provides the average requirement across all fields. Maximum. All fields receive the rate of the field with the highest requirement. Take note that were you to use injection points per valve, the calculation method does not apply since each field's requirement may be applied exactly. A significantly improved warning system to help prevent precipitation of incompatible fertilizers in fertilizer tanks. It provides the ability to give custom fertilizer quantities to each field if you have fertilizer injectors linked to each field. The option to use concentrate fertilizer tanks. This makes it possible to link the same fertilizer tanks to multiple fertigation systems. The ability to rapidly change or manage fertilizer injection rates to compensate, for example, for heavy rain. A significantly increased ability to track and log the quantities of fertilizer and elements that have been applied. The ability to schedule according to the available valves and to make irrigation corrections per valve in a field. 6 different fertigation or irrigation schedules that are designed to fit with your desired resolution and, if relevant, the capacities of your fertigation or irrigation controller. Overall, the system is designed to allow you a wide range of options for selecting the fertilizer application methods, fertilizer type and frequency of application for any field. It also gives you the flexibility to combine and adjust these during the season. Any fertilizers that were already applied prior to the change will be taken into account in any future calculations. For example, you may need to move to a more cost-savings fertilizer mix halfway through the production season. AgriWiz now allows you to do so while taking the applications made in the first half of the season into account. If you are using the tank mix system on the old version of AgriWiz, you are probably already used to the idea of creating a mix of fertilizers for your tanks. The concept of fertilizer mix takes everybody into account, whether you are using broad-based field, per plant, foliar, or enriched irrigation as your fertilizer application method. As mentioned, you can use a combination of application types and change that during the season, and the system will keep track of what you have already used and take that into account for the new recommendations. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that it's been helpful. Remember, comprehensive help files are available under the question mark in the corner. Please send any comments or suggestions to support@agriwiz.mu.